Ha?
No correlation.
Oh, ayun. How many competencies did the learners master on her class in 1 quarter alone? So you can always see that using logos. Not only yan, assessment lang yan ng teachers. How do you use this in assisting teachers? Who among you love to observe and give, anong tawag dyan? Po? Advices to teachers after. Sino talaga yung nagpe-perform ng post-observation? Tas kamay daw. Nagpe-perform, isa lang? Dalawa lang? Post-conference. Post-conference. Post-observation conference. Ayan. What do we tell our teachers? You did good, thank you. We have perfect teachers na? No. So we still have to assist them. And in assisting them, we have to equip ourselves. So these are, ang mga nabanggit dito, these are some of the things that we need to familiarize ourselves with. We're not asking you to be perfect English speakers. We are not asking you to be grammar critics. We're asking you to have a good grasp of the English language and use it effectively for your own good. This is not for us. This is for you school leaders. So sana, after this training, you would be able to take this home and learn. Hindi naman, it's not just everyday na you tell me, you ask me to attend, ano bang pinaka-least favorite kong subject, math. You ask me to attend a math training and then you expect me to perfect it after 3 days. No. Nobody could do that. Same with you. We just have to familiarize ourselves, equip ourselves with these strategies, and use it later on. Okay? Let's move on to the next narration. This is a very good one. Okay? Lagi ito, especially to experienced principals. You give an experienced principal a time to talk, uubusin niya ang oras mo. Am I correct? Kahapon, I was talking to somebody, and then we were laughing, we were joking around, but I realized something. Most of our experienced principals, if you give them a time to talk, they will eat up your time because they have a lot of experiences and knowledge about their profession. Dalawa pa lang yung naisip kong principal na konti lang magsalita kasi hindi naman ako familiar sa lahat. But I can only name 2. The rest, we love to talk. Tama ba? Because we do not teach anymore, we love to talk. We love to extend our expertise and our experiences. And this strategy is always used. Let's take a look at the example. When I was 21, oh, yan na, I lost my job and was homeless. Through perseverance and hard work, I turned my life around and started a successful business. Today, I stand before you to tell you that no matter how tough life gets, you can overcome any obstacle. Same with us. We use this every day and we have to remind teachers of this strategy. But we have to be careful. Because sometimes, the person that we're talking to does not want to listen anymore. But this is a very good strategy when you're trying to convince someone, especially learners, to finish their studies. Sino ang nakapag-counseling na? Tapos kinwentuhan mo na siya how hard your life has become when you were younger. And you had to work while studying. Who are working students before when they were in college and high school? Taas kamay. Yung nagdaan mamasukan sa tao, yung nagdaang magtrabaho para makatapos, yung kumain ng isang beses sa isang araw just to finish their studies. They are people with good narratives because it is a first-hand experience. So, rhetorical strategies, that is narration. And the last one is, can you please read to me, everybody? Comparison and contrast. Read natin. Ready, begin.
Comparison and contrast.
Comparison again. Comparison and contrast. Ready, go.
Comparison and contrast is the rhetorical strategy that highlights
Did you hear yourself? It highlights the differences and similarities between the two or more subjects. I'm checking my time kasi I'm supposed to end at 11. Okay, still have. Diyan na po si Ma'am Luan. Yeah, I have time. So, we have how many kanina? We have how many rhetorical strategies? 5. Okay, we have 5 rhetorical strategies and they are ethos, pathos, logos, narration, and comparison and contrast. In 10 minutes, you have learned 5 strategies that you can use in your schools and you can personally use. Every day po yun, ha? In the English language, it's not just about mastering grammar nga sinabi nila kahapon. Ako personally, I do not know all the rules in grammar. I have to review them. It's been how many years since last I taught? Kaya hindi talaga kayo, kung makikipaglaban kayo sa mga English teachers that practice their craft every day, when it comes to grammar, we will find it difficult. The thing only that we can use when assisting them in teaching is learning the strategies and being able to communicate with them well. That is discourse. This is the field that we can master. Grammar, we can familiarize ourselves. Anong ginagawa ni Grammarly? Anong ginagawa ni autocorrect? But, we ourselves have to equip us with the strategies. Paano ko i-handle? Yung teacher, mas magaling sa akin mag-English. Speaking in English does not mean that you're smart. Tandaan nyo yan, ha? Speaking the language does not equate to being intelligent. It's not about that, ha? It's using it well. Yung, grabe ang pagka-pronounce. Wala ka nang maintindihan sa pagka-English niya. Basta English lang siya ng English. Was there a transfer of knowledge? Was there learning? So that person is not effective. What we are after is good communication or good discourse. That is discourse competence. This morning, our talk with Ma'am Lorna, our talk is basically equipping you with the things that you need in effective communication, discourse competence. Okay? So ito lang po talaga yung aim namin this morning. And with that, kasi last part na ito sa structural components of discourse, we are going to talk about the next one, which is pragmatic competence. I prepared an activity sana, kaso lang hindi siya mag-play. Okay, I'll ask you this question na lang. I have a brain teaser. Here. Pero, I'll just choose 2 siguro. Kasi I cannot show you it. I need you to listen and give me the correct answer. Gagamitin natin to later on sa pragmatic competence. A man stands out on one side of the river. His dog on the other. The man calls his dog, who immediately crosses the river without getting wet and without using a bridge or a boat. How did the dog do it? Okay? A man stands on one side of the river, the dog stands on the other side of the river. He called his dog, who immediately comes to him without crossing a bridge or riding on a boat. How did the dog do it?
Jump.
Hmm?
Jump.
And without getting wet. Yes po, Sir Dennis. How did he do it?
The dog walks in a frozen water.
Okay, very good. Isang shot lang. The dog walked on frozen water. May sinabi ba ako na ganon? Kanina na malamig ang panahon? But you have to assume he was able to go to his owner without getting wet, riding a boat, or crossing a bridge. Therefore, the river must be frozen. Oh, hindi kami nakarelate kasi walang ice sa Pilipinas. Next question. This one, sayang lang yung iba hindi natin makita eh. But this question,
Pwede ring try.
listen to this. Hindi mag-play. Ayaw niya sa laptop ko. Sorry. Listen to this very well. Ang malilikot ang utak dyan, I need an honest answer. Arnold Schwarzenegger has a long one.
Ay,
Sige, saglit lang. Arnold Schwarzenegger has a long one. Michael J. Fox has a short one. Madonna does not use hers. Bill Clinton always uses his. And the Pope never uses his. Yes po! Surname. Unang statement ko pa lang kanina, tumawa na si Sydney. Why, my friend? Yes, you like long surnames. The answer is a surname. Tuwang-tuwa si Elle. Okay, why did I give you those two riddles? Let's talk about pragmatic competence. Okay, pragmatic competence is... Can somebody read for me? Sir, what's your name? Sir Kit, can you please read for me the meaning of pragmatic competence?
Pragmatic competence is the ability to use language effectively in a contextually appropriate manner.
Thank you, sir. It is the ability to use the language. Your own vernacular language, you can use that. O language, ano nga yung tanong mo sa akin, Sid, the first day? She asked me what is the difference between language and... No. Dialect. Okay. You can use your own dialect well, but can you use English well? Why? What is the number one problem? Not your native language. That is number one consideration. Number two, nahihiya lang kayo. Tama? They will judge me. Mali ako. It is very important. Pragmatic competence is very important. Why? In our field, we always have to use this. Kasi we will be talking to people of high positions. We will be talking to other principals. We will be talking to our bosses. And will we be able to converse well if we do not have a good command of the language? Kahit simple lang yung English mo, if you can use it well, you can converse. That is pragmatic competence. Importance in this course. What is it? Why is it important? It allows, number one, the speaker to convey message effectively and interpret others' message accurately. Number two, it helps in maintaining smooth social interactions by adhering to cultural norms and expectations. It aids in resolving such issues of misunderstanding by promoting clear and respectful communication. It is not just about ang katiting na grammar, period, kulang, spelling mali. It is about the bigger use of the language in general. We have to be able to manipulate the language for us to be effective in our everyday jobs. Ma'am, hindi naman ako nag-English pag kinakausap ko yung teacher. But how can you help that teacher teach English better? Hindi pwedeng math major ka na principal, hindi ka mag-observe ng English. Diba? We have to be able to help them. And we will not help them well if we are not able. So, pragmatic competence is a skill in knowing what to do, how to say it, and who to say it to. I have had a problem in my college days. For those people who know me, I always speak my mind. And I have this English teacher, English 101. I've told this story several times, pero not to this crowd. She is a double major. Can you believe it? English and math. O, di ba? Can you believe it? She's a double major in English and Math. She was my professor in college. Buhay pa siya, yata yun, sorry. We have this activity na we are going to read a poem and then we're going to talk about it and interpret. So she already posted a copy of the poem on the board. And then, she asked us to read the poem. First, kailangan basahin. So what did she do? She said, "Ready, blue." Nag-process ang utak ko. Ano daw? Walang nagbasa. Nobody started to read. So she tried to repeat the statement. Ready, blue. Nagtinginan kaming magkaklase. We looked at each other, question mark. Anong ibig sabihin ni ma'am ng ready, blue? And then, yung loko-lokong kong kaklase sa katabi ko, he whispered to me, "Ano po ba talaga ma'am? Blue o yellow?" Tumawa na ako, hindi ko na napigilan. Pasaway talaga ako ng college. And then, na-notice niya, she changed her statement. 1, 2, 3, go! Hindi ko na kinaya. Magalpak ako ng tawa. Yung pala yung ibig niyang sabihin is ready, blow. Or meaning start. So, hindi ka namin na-gets because of the miscommunication. Pinalitan niya. Ang palit niya, 1, 2, 3, go. Ina-admire ko si ma'am dahil double major siya, but I felt bad that I was rebellious in her class because I was not listening well. Kasi she was not a credible English teacher. That is, tama ba ako? Oh, one thing na na-learn ninyo sa aming mga English teacher is that we tend to correct. Hardwired ang utak namin to correct you. Minsan, ginaganon lang namin yan, oh. English teachers, taas kamay. Tama ba ako? Maling pronunciation, maling construction ng sentence. What do you do? If you can, you correct. If you can't, tiisin nyo. Yan, mga makasalanan kasi yan ng mga English major, judgmental. Di ba, Errol? Oh. Because that is our job. Pagpasensyahan nyo na po kami. It all depends on the approach sa pag-correct po. Di po ba tama? Yes. Sa lahat ng majors po kami po yung pakialamera. Papakialaman namin ang science. Paano yung kinonstruct yung question nyo? Math. Paano yung word problem nyo? Tama ba? Pero ipasolve nyo sa amin yan. Hindi na namin alam. It's always about the X. Okay, so that is how pragmatic discourse. It's not just about yung tutok ka sa maliliit. It's the bigger picture. Just like yung brain teaser natin kanina, you do not focus on the small part. You have to look at the bigger picture to get the answer. It's not just the parts, okay? So, we have components of pragmatic competence. The first one is, can we read for me? Can you read for me? Interpreting in context. Number 2, producing contextually appropriate language. Number 3, understanding implicatures. And number 4, navigating conversational implicatures. They may sound medyo ano ba yung mga pinagsasabi ni ma'am, but you will be able to relate to me, trust me. Let's discuss the first one, interpreting language in context. Understanding the situational context of a conversation and recognizing the speaker's intention and the implied meanings. When talking, we have to understand, we have to look at the speaker, you look at them in the face, and you look at their facial expression. Kasi you will be able to words or phrases were interpreted in a different context, especially if the person delivering the story has malice on his mind. You just ask, okay ka lang? But the other person who delivered, dinagdagan na yung kwento, what will happen? Or exact same words, different delivery. Okay lang kaya siya? That was the statement. Uy, sabi niya dun okay ka lang daw. Oh, what happened? Was it in the proper context pa din? No. So we have to be very careful. For us to be able to be competent, pragmatically competent, we have to interpret language in context correctly. Okay? When the teacher says it's time to clean up, it's time to clean up. Wala nang ibang ibig sabihin yun. Meaning, madumi ang classroom. Wala na. Clear lang. Okay? Context sa classroom yun ha. Same with talking to your peers. Same with talking to your teachers. Same with talking to the learners. And especially the same when talking with parents. Be very careful. Understand the context first. Kung hindi, 888 agad ang katapat mo. Tama? Okay. Next is producing contextually appropriate language. Choosing appropriate words and expressions based on the social context, adjusting the language according to the listener's background and the relationship between the speakers. With this crowd, you can talk professionally. But what about in PTA meetings? Na yung ibang mga magulang ay hindi ganun kasanay sa mga terms na ginagamit nyo. What do you do? Layman's term. You adjust. You, ano tawag doon? Transfer from one language to the locally used language. In PTA meetings, same ba yung language nyo in PTA meetings and then sa meeting sa munisipyo? Ha? If you're asked to meet with a mayor, will it be the same when asked to meet with a parent? No. It is different. You have to choose your language well. Take a look at the audience, take a look at who you're speaking to, and then change the language appropriately. Huwag naman din na sobrang OA ka na din. Your Highness, good morning. Ang kausap mo, Mayor. Ha? Honorable Mayor. Oh, Sir, good morning. Proper. When writing a letter, for those who are always talking to learners, we usually notice this school heads. Yung mga estudyante wala nang galang sa teacher nila. Have you noticed that? When they're talking to their teacher, sometimes you notice it's like that they're just talking to their friends. Have you noticed that? There are no boundaries anymore. There's a big difference. Uy, sir! Kita kita kahapon, ayos ah. Ay. Is it proper? No. We have to remind our teachers that what is the proper way to communicate with the learners so that the learners communicate with them well. That is indirect teaching na din. Always remember that, okay? Oh, yung always na naging example, how do you talk to your husbands or your wives? Do you talk to your co-teachers that way also? Maliban na lang kung ang co-teacher mo ay husband or wife mo din. But when it comes to work matters, you have to shift. You have to be very careful. Teaching students to use formal language when addressing adults and more casual language with peers. This is very important. Let us remind our teachers that they are different. Conversations are different in school. Tandaan nyo yan. You have to have, there was this experienced principal na nagsabi sa akin, set your boundaries. Always. Always set your, sa mga kabiruan mo, for those you are close with, sarcasm is an a very effective, what do you call this? A very effective strategy when it comes to banter with friends. But sarcasm becomes dangerous if you do not like the person you are talking to. Okay? Tama ba? Sino dito mga sarcastic, mga pilosopo? Taas kamay. Be honest with yourself. I am sarcastic. Who else? Slide. Wow. Thank you, ma'am, sa pag-amin mo. Si Jules, hindi daw siya sarcastic. Di ba, Jules? He's very, he's very loving and hindi daw siya sarcastic. Totoo yan. In our daily communication, in our daily lives, we have to be able to detect if the person is talking in a way that there is a different implication. Example, do we have school heads dito na walang pang-asawa? Jessie, isusumbong kita. Yes, yan. Yung mga wala pang-asawa. Example, you went out with someone. You went out with someone. And then, lalaki ka. And then si girl, she asked you, nagugutom ka na ba? Ano ibig sabihin nun? She wants to what? She wants to eat. Ikaw naman na dense. Hindi pa? Wala kang pakialam. Hindi mo na-gets. Why? Because you do not understand the implicature of that statement. What does it imply? Kumain na kayo. Tapos hindi mo na-gets, kawawa naman si girl. So automatic, X ka my friend. Red flag. Dense. Hindi makagets. Raymond, listen to me ha. Dating tips. Okay, what else? Implicature. Sa parents. Subtle lang yan, especially those who are politically correct. They will talk to you in a very nice manner, but you have to decide, was there an implied meaning? Can you give me an example? Specific example ng implied na statement. Meron? Nararanasan nyo to every day.
Where are you supposed to be?
Sir, uwi ka na ba? Uwi ka na ba? Kung papasukin. There are teachers who find it difficult or nahihiyang umuwi if the principal is still in the office. Am I correct? I have this teacher na she's very nasundo ni yung asawa ko. Uwi na siguro itong taong ito. Mama, una ka na po. You can go ahead. Thank you po, ma'am. Hindi magpaparang ka, ma'am. Di ka pa uwi? Ano bang ginagawa mo dito? Especially our AOs who are well-taught. Magtatanong muna yon. They will not leave you in doing your job. They will ask something else implying another matter. Hindi yan paprangka sa'yo, especially if their position is lower than yours. Kung kapwa mo, how do you talk to your fellow school heads na friends mo? How do you talk to them? Different. How do you talk to your supervisor? Different. So, you have to understand that there are implied meanings. We have to be sensitive. Okay. Eto. Anong oras na ba? Anong sinagot? Maaga pa, meaning it's not yet time to go home. Another. Ito na. Kumain ka na ba? Busog pa ako. Ano gagawin niyo, girls? Kung kayo yun, gutom na ka na. Sige, diyan ka muna ha. Kakain muna ako. Enjoy. Okay? Next, navigating conversational implicatures. This is the result of, this is a product of the third one. Identifying and interpreting indirect speech acts. Recognizing and responding to hints, suggestions, and innuendos. Be very careful of the last one. Because not all people around us are our friends. Tama? Not all people here are your friends. I am not your friend. Okay? I might have innuendos towards you. Anong innuendo? A malicious or a bad meaning plan. May plano kang hindi maganda. O ayan yung tingin sa akin ni Julie, pero mayroon na siyang innuendo. Okay? So, those are the things that we have to take note of. Those are the things that we have to notice. Hindi lang yung you stay in your office the whole day, every day, working on those plans without exposing yourselves to the teachers, to the learners, to the parents, because you will not be effective. Okay. Teaching students to recognize when someone is hinting at something indirectly. Like when a peer says, "It sure is noisy here." Meaning, anong gagawin? Tahimik. When you were teaching, when you were still in the classroom, when the crowd is noisy, when the students are noisy, what do? Will you shout also? You have to have a calm demeanor and make a statement that will also calm them down. Huwag din sumigaw ka. It's not a shouting contest. So, navigating conversational implicatures, the sad part is this, there are also people who find it difficult to navigate these situations kasi hindi nila nagigets. Hindi nila nagigets what is happening. There are those in your group of friends na others are already laughing their eyes out. Pero you have this friend na
Lang.
ano daw? Anong tawag sa kanila? Ha? Lutang? Lutang, ma'am? Or hindi nila nagigets kaagad. They don't have a fine grasp of the communication that happened. Kadalasan naman nakatagalog, di ba? Meron pa rin lutang. How much more if the conversation is in English? So we have to be careful. So, let's have the four pragmatic components of pragmatic competence. The first one is interpreting language in context. Number two, producing, very important, contextually appropriate language. Number three, understanding implicatures. And number four,
And
navigating conversational implicatures. You have to know them. Of the 30 years of your life, hindi ka talaga nakasalubong ng taong nagsinungaling sa'yo. There are those people who are very skilled at identifying liars. Tama ba? In your current position and in your age right now, can you identify liars? Ha? How many percent? If it's a high school student, madali lang yun. If it's a teacher, there are those people who are very good in lying. And those that can identify the liars is also a liar. Okay? That's part of life. That's truth. That's the truth. Tama ba? Who among you does not lie? Okay. Thank you. Okay. We have an activity, supposedly, mag-assist. Perfect statement. Okay? As long as we can understand what you want to say, what you want to express.